So guys, we were talking about how that sugar, and especially beverages with sugar, it's just a thumbs down, not good for our health. We learned so many things that does in stealing health from our bodies. And we also learned that artificial sweeteners aren't the answer. So what is? We're gonna have to have something to replace those soft drinks if we're going to try to walk away from those. So right here, this is like poison to your body, and it's just something we want to say bye-bye. So there we go, and bye-bye. But what are we going to do instead? Well, here are some ideas. Let's start first with some sweeteners that are going to be better options. Now, we're going to post a link to a segment that Dr. Axe did on sweeteners, because he has studied these in very great detail and has a couple more that you may be interested in. I just brought out today, this is what we do. This is what we use. So we have maple syrup, and you can use that in dressings. We're talking today specifically about beverages, so try it. Try a little bit of maple syrup in beverage and just see what you think of that. Now, when it comes to honey, Dr. Axe agreed on this one, that you want to make very sure to get a raw honey, and it's even better if you can get local honey. So often when we get like the Honey Bear just off the store shelf, it has been processed like so many of our foods to the point that you're no longer getting nutrition in it, and it's really not much better than just a sugary syrup, and it's doing harm to your body rather than good. So make sure and look for a raw honey and try to find a local source, and that would be even better. I happen to have gotten this one at Costco, but I do plan to look for a local honey source, and those are good options. Now, if you have some glucose issues or blood sugar issues, this is a sweetener that is going to be safe. It should be safe for people that have to watch their sugars, and it's stevia. Most of you are probably familiar with it. One thing I would like to caution, and Dr. Axe brought this up as well, he talks about how that they've taken something that is good like stevia, and there's so many marketed processed products that when you're in the store, you don't even know which ones are good anymore. He highly suggests that you get one from a source that you trust, like a health food store. I happen to have ordered this one from swansonsvitamins.com. They'll send out coupons once in a while if you want to get their emails, and you can save. So I just kind of, when I get one of those coupons, order several things that we get from them, and this is one of them. It's an organic stevia leaf, and it's something that we use as an alternative to sugar. Now let's talk also, when it comes to like soft drinks, you know, you just kind of sometimes want a little fizz, and these can be a little bit acidic, you know, you don't want to replace water with these. You still want to get water, but the LaCroix have just a little bit of flavoring, a natural flavoring, but other than that, there's no added sugar, and they just are delicious. My grandkids sometimes will take one of these and add just a little bit of stevia, and it almost tastes like a fruit soft drink to them. We have also had where they'll take just a spritzer that we usually have on hand. This is a Kroger brand, and they'll pour it in a glass. As a matter of fact, several of them, this is one of the first things they ask for when they come to my house. And then we'll add just a little bit of palm juice. Now, juices can spike blood sugar and get your body out of balance if you have a body that's not exactly in balance. So if you're working with like yeast issues or some of those issues, you want to be real careful about juices. But if, you know, for people who are mostly healthy, a little bit of juice, as long as it's not overdone, is not going to be a problem. So we usually use even a little bit less than that. And then we'll just add, this stevia is very concentrated. So as you can see by this little, I don't even know if you can call that a spoon, but whatever that is, it really does not take much more than that. Now, my grandkids may would do 2 of those. I'm not sure, but it is very, very sweet. And then it's going to get a little bit of a fizz, and they love it. So that's something that they enjoy, and I don't mind as their nanny, since I try not to give them sugar when they're here. Once in a while we make an exception, but for the most part, they know when they come to my house we're going to do healthy, and this is something that they enjoy and that they know they're doing a healthier option. So let's talk about teas, because they are a super healthy option as well. I'm going to read a couple of things that Dr. Greger teaches us about tea. He teaches us this about hibiscus tea. He says, High blood pressure is where hibiscus tea really shines. A double-blind placebo-controlled study out of Tufts University that compared hibiscus tea with an artificially colored and flavored look-alike showed that 3 cups of hibiscus tea a day significantly lowered blood pressure in pre-hypertensive adults better than the placebo beverage. And he goes on to say how that it has lined up to help. Certain amounts of hibiscus tea will even help as well as some medications. He goes on to talk a little bit later in his book about green tea and how that Asian women have such a lower risk of an incidence of breast cancer, and they associate green tea with that. Green tea has been associated with so many other things. We could have done, probably 30 minutes just talking about so many different teas and the benefits that they have when you're getting herbal teas. So we did not spend tons of time here, but I would encourage you to just look at upgrading your beverages. Whatever you're doing now, if this is, if you've got one of these and this is what you're craving, think about choosing something else first. Think about drinking your glass of water first. And then if you still want this, you know what? It may take a while before you bridge that. But again, we already said bye-bye there, so let's just leave that gone. And let me talk real quickly before we go just about these teas. We made a cup here of green tea. Most of you are familiar with that. I have one of hibiscus. It's got kind of a dark red color. I'll kind of pull that up and maybe you can see that, but it's got a rich dark red color. I love the flavor of it. And then this one is a Red Rubio's tea. Not sure I'm pronouncing that properly, but that's how I've been calling it for a while now. But these are delicious. I love them without any sweetener. But you know what? If you need to add a little stevia, if you don't have blood sugar issues, and even if you're trying to lose weight, it's wise not to have some sweeteners of this nature with your beverages. A little bit safer with food, more so than with beverages, but stevia is a really good option, and you might just get used to where you don't even need it at all. And that's of course our goal, just that fruit and natural things God gave us are the sweet that we want and that we desire. So that's our goal. But in the meantime, as you transition, here are a few items that maybe will help you. Stevia is a brand at the store where they have some healthier versions of some soft drinks. So just try these, see if you can just transition away, and even if you can do less and less of those and more of these, you're headed in the right direction, and that's where we're all headed. So all right guys, I hope that was helpful, and we're going to wrap it up for today. Always good to be with you. I'll see you next time. God bless you big. Bye bye.